Good day to you.
Okay.
So
Okay.
maybe allow me to just introduce a bit. So good day for everyone. It is now 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Bangkok, 6 o'clock in Tokyo. Tokyo is now 6 o'clock in the evening already. However, in other parts of the world, maybe a lot different. Like in the USA, maybe something like 4 o'clock in the morning or something, depending on the zone. So sorry that we organize on this at this time, uh, 6 o'clock in Tokyo and 4 o'clock in Bangkok, because the problem of vacant housing, unoccupied housing units, might be a lot in Asia, but may not be a lot in the USA, might not be a lot in Europe or European countries. That's why we pick this time. And if we make it like in the morning in New York, maybe somewhat like or almost midnight in Japan, our speaker may be sleepy by then. So we choose this time. And I hope our colleagues from ASEAN countries in Asia, in South Asia, in the subcontinent, in Arabic countries, and most parts of European countries, ranging from Portugal, Paris, Germany, Russia, they can also enjoy, because it is now the morning in Paris, maybe about 10 o'clock in Paris right now, Paris. So we will start this program. This webinar is organized by FIABCI World Council of Experts. As you may know, FIABCI is the International Real Estate Federation based in Paris, France. And our FIABCI, we have different councils. We have the Council of Experts. We have Council of Valuers, Council of PropTech, Council of Property Managers, Council of Brokers, Real Estate Brokers, and many other councils, architects and the like. So our Council of Experts is chaired by me. I'm the president of the FIABCI World Council of Experts. And we have a few other board members from USA, Mr. Duncan, from Spain, Ms. Eva, Mr. Ivan Wilkov, and and a few others. Thank you. But right now in the US, maybe too late at night, so maybe they may not many of them may participate. We have this topic that is the vacant housing or unoccupied housing units in this mostly in Asian countries, like in Thailand, in maybe in Malaysia, in the Philippines, in Indonesia. They may be producing a lot of housing units, and many of them might be unoccupied. Maybe we have so many unoccupied housing units, and how to solve. As you may know, is that in Thailand, we have around 1.2 million unoccupied housing units. Half of them, 600,000, are in Bangkok alone, and another 600,000 were upcountry. Maybe a few of them may be on the hand of the developers, but mostly on the hand of the individuals or the home buyers already. They bought it for speculation, so they did not stay there, or maybe they stay there, but now they move away, or maybe very few housing units might be haunted, might be haunted or something, so no one stay there. So in Thailand, it is around 1.2 million housing units unoccupied. But in Thailand, we have around almost 30 million housing units. So it is around only 3-4% only that unoccupied. But in Bangkok, it is around 13%. That's quite high. In the case of condominiums, apartment, owner-occupied apartments in Bangkok, it may be around 20%, 1/5 unoccupied. That is very high. But in the case of Thailand, we said 1.2 million. But I heard in the case of South Korea, the number of unoccupied housing units might be around 1.5 million. That is very high compared to Thailand. And they have fewer numbers of population. So there may be so many housing units that built, but no one stay there. And I heard that in Japan, my colleagues from Japan said that maybe around 8 million or 8.5 million. So we will learn from Mr. Kainuma from Japan about this, 8 or 8.5 million, or maybe the figure may change. But I heard that in China, there are around 50 million unoccupied housing units. They're built and bought by people, might be for speculation or something, but not many of them really stay there. So that might be a really warning signs that there are so many housing units built. On one hand, it might be good that there are a lot of housing units that unoccupied. It is better than housing shortage. In many countries, there are a problem of housing shortage. But in our case, we may have the problem of unoccupied housing units. So that maybe our economy might be good in the past or something. So we build so many housing units, particularly for speculation. So this is the case. But the one who are generously, kindly tell us is in the case of Japan, that is Mr. Kainuma. So I think he should be the great and the right person to speak about the unoccupied housing unit, around 8 million or something in Japan. And it should be a good case for us. So we will see what is the problem and how to value those unoccupied housing units. It may be abandoned. How can we value those properties? So I invite Mr. Kainuma to speak about this. So before we start, allow me to introduce Mr. Takahiro Kainuma. Kainuma is my friend's surname. In Japan, we call in surname. So Mr. Takahiro Kainuma. So I just call you in brief Kainuma, Mr. Kainuma. But in the case of Thailand, my name is Sopon Pornchokchai, but you should call me by name. So Sopon is okay. But in the case of Japan, we are happy to call you Mr. Kainuma. Mr. Kainuma is a member of the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. So he holds an MRICS. I also hold an MRICS. And he was also a candidate for the MAI, that is by the Appraisal Institute. He was a candidate on that as well. And now he is working at Tokyu Construction Company Limited. That is a very great and big construction companies and have a lot of works in Southeast Asia, like in Vietnam and maybe some other places. Maybe Mr. Kainuma may say something about this. And Mr. Kainuma graduated from Meiji University, a famous university, and also has demonstrated working experience in valuation in Japan. He also value properties in ASEAN countries, say come to value some properties in maybe in Vietnam, in Laos, or some other places. So this is the case. And he also has experience in sales and contract negotiation, consumer relation management, CRM, and sales management. So he is not only practical valuers, and he is also a practical real estate expert as well. But because he has great background in valuation, that's why our FIABCI World Council of Experts would like to invite Mr. Kainuma to speak about how to what is the problem and how to value this or appraise this unoccupied housing. So I think now it should be the time for Mr. Kainuma to speak for us. Our session will last around 1 hour, so you may speak as you wish, maybe 40 minutes or anyhow, and then we have Q&A later on. But now the floor is yours, Mr. Kainuma. You may start. So let us give a big hand to Mr. Takahiro Kainuma. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Sopon. Good day, everyone. Thank you for having me here to speak about vacant housing in Japan. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Takahiro Kainuma. I became a valuer 8 years ago after working as a real estate salesperson and a condominium developer for over 20 years. In my previous job, I worked with Dr. Sopon's valuation firm and came to know Dr. Sopon. As regards FIABCI, I have known the name for over 30 years because my old company group, Mitsui Fudosan Group, produced 3 FIABCI presidents: Hideo Edo 1982 to 1983, Hajime Tsuboi 1991 to 1992, and Junichiro Tanaka 1999 to 2000. That was so many years ago, but I remember the name of FIABCI clearly. Next, let me explain my current company. I work for Tokyu Construction as the manager of corporate planning division. I'm responsible for the management of real estate transaction and business investment reviewing board and administration of subsidiary companies. Tokyu Construction is a Japanese second-tier construction company founded in 1959. We have branches in all over the Japan and Asia, including Bangladesh, Indonesia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. About Tokyu Group. Tokyu is a group name of one of the largest railway company group in Japan. Tokyu means Tokyo Express Railway, not Tokyo. Since Tokyo originated with the establishment of the Electric Railway Company in 1922, the Tokyo Group has grown to consist of 224 companies and 5 corporations. The line of business consists of 4 major businesses, including real estate, hotel and resort, transportation, and life service, like shopping malls and theaters. Now let's get down to the main topic. In Japan, vacant houses are increasing rapidly in rural areas. Even in Tokyo, vacant houses are estimated to increase in 10 years. Vacant housing increase causes many problems like fire accident, security deterioration, and finally it will collapse local community. After the community collapses, it will be very difficult to recover the community. So we must solve vacant housing problems in early stage. Today, I will speak about causes of vacant housing, real estate market solutions for vacant housing problems, and the valuation of vacant properties. To know causes of vacant housing problems in Japan, let's look over Japan population change. Look at the graph below. This shows Japan population movement from 1955 to 2060. The red line shows the movement of total population. The green line shows movement of under 14. The blue shows 15 to 64. The brown shows over 65. The red line total population turned to decrease in 2010, but the brown line over 65 years old will continue to increase until 2045. Let's look at the next graph. This shows the Tokyo population change from 1955 to 2060. Different Japan total population. Tokyo population is still increasing. This increase is estimated to last until 2030. After 2030, the population is estimated to decrease. Now let's look over real estate policies in Japan. Japanese government has utilized new housing investment to stimulate the economy for a long time. Let me explain tax incentive for new housing compared to existing housing. Please look at the table below. This shows four major tax incentives for new housing. Firstly, property tax. When we acquire new house, we can have 50% deduction for 3 years. In case of condominium, we can have the same deduction for 5 years. On the other hand, if we buy existing houses, we can have one-third tax deduction only for 1 year, only in case we conduct renovation over 500,000 yen. Next, registration tax. Registration tax for new housing is 0.15%, only half of existing housing. Renovated housing also came to have tax incentives of 0.2%. This is much higher incentive, but this is only applicable for houses built after 1981. That year is the changing year of earthquake-resistant standards. Thirdly, income tax deduction. When we buy a new house, we can have income tax deduction by the amount of 0.7% of the remaining loan amount up to 30 to 40 million yen for 13 years. This maximum loan amount depends on housing performance. In case of existing houses, the maximum loan amount is decreased to 20 million yen or 30 million yen. Lastly, real estate acquisition tax. When we buy a new house, we must pay 3% of the assessed value. Building value has a deduction of 12 to 13 million yen. In case of existing houses, the tax rate is the same, but building value deduction decreases from 1 million to 12 million yen. Please note that all tax incentives excluding property tax for existing houses are applicable to building standard of 1981. Look at the picture below. This is my grandmother's house. This house is 50 years old, and it has been vacant for 13 years after my grandmother passed away. Why has this vacant house been left as is? This house is located at very rural area, and no one wants to buy or rent. And demolition cost is around $30,000. And if you demolish the house, land property tax increases by 6 times. This is one reason for vacant housing increase. Japanese government changed tax policy to promote existing housing transactions. But Japanese people like new housing by nature. We tend to change cars every 5 years. We change cell phone every 2 years. We like clean, newer technology. So the government must place stronger emphasis on promotion of existing housing transactions. Let's look over real estate market in Japan. Look at the graph below. This graph shows total housing stock and total household each year from 1948 to 2018. The blue bar is total housing stock. The yellow bar is total household. By 1973, the difference between total housing stock and total household is not so big. But gradually, the difference is getting bigger and bigger by government housing policy stimulating new housing starts. In 2018, we have 8.79 million vacant houses in Japan. Vacant Vacancy rate is 13.6%. The half of them is for rent and 40% is vacant houses for no use. This 3.49 million vacant houses is estimated to grow rapidly in the near future and will be problematic. Look at the graph below. This graph shows the rate of existing housing transaction in foreign markets. The red line, the ratio of existing housing transactions to home market keeps around only 15%. On the other hand, the orange and yellow bar chart, new housing startups owner occupied and for lease keep around 1 million even in recent years. This low existing house transaction are caused by Japanese people's tendency of loving new housing and the government policy concentrating on new housing. Look at the graph below. This graph shows apartment vacancy rate of the biggest Japan REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust, Advanced Residence Investment Corporation. The vacancy is only 3 to 4%. On the other hand, vacant housing rate was 13.6%. As I explained, the Japan REIT investment area is limited to Tokyo and major cities. So vacant housing is a problem of a rural area. But in 10 years, Tokyo and major cities also will have vacant housing problems because urban households also are estimated to decrease in 10 years. Look at the graph below. This graph shows office vacancy rate of Tokyo 23 wards and major cities. Japan keeps low vacancy rate in offices by 2 to 5%. We had influenced by increasing number of teleworkers after COVID-19, but now about 70% office workers have returned to office. And office needs more space for small meeting now, so vacancy rate is estimated to stabilize around 2 to 5%. I think that there is no vacancy problems in offices in Japan. Look at the next graph below. This graph shows hotel occupancy rate from 2009 to July 2023. From 2015 to 2019, the occupancy rate was around 70%. In COVID-19 years, it drops to below 40%. But in July 2023, the occupancy rate recovered to before COVID-19 level. This data shows that there is no problems in hotel market now. Let me explain how vacant houses increase. As I explained, investment market is steady, but owner-occupied properties are in suffer. Please look at pictures below. The left picture shows image of 70 years long lifetime households. In 1960, the average lifetime in Japan was around 70 years. In this case, grandparents pass away before their grandchildren need house. So only two houses enough for the family. In 2000, average lifetime in Japan became 85 years. In this case, when grandchildren need houses, grandparents are still in good health and need their own houses. So grandchildren need their own houses. This causes household increase. But when grandparents pass away and there is no one to buy the house because of household decrease, the grandparents' house become vacant house. If someone buy this vacant house, there is no problem. But in rural area, there is few people to buy this vacant house. The growing number of vacant houses also opportunities for business. Some companies provide solutions for vacant housing problems. Let me introduce four solution companies. First solution company is Cactus. This company's name means adding value. One of the difficulties of solving for vacant housing problem is the owner do not have enough money to renovate the house. Cactus buys old vacant houses and renovates them properly, then sell the renovated houses in budget price. Cactus has two brands. One is Cactus. This brand house is provided in rural areas, and it occupies 75% of all sales. The detached house rate is 93%, and average price is only $104,000. This price is about half price of new detached house in rural area. The other brand is Repro. This brand is provided in local urban area or suburban area, and it occupies 25% of all sales. The detached house rate is 72.6%, and average price is $153,000. This price is also almost half price of new detached house in suburban area. They have networks in all over Japan, and it is keen on market. Next solution company is Innovative. This name means do renovation. Innovative is a platform company for end users who look for renovated houses. In Japan, new housing is preferred partly because of easy procedure. In Japan, new housing providers offer one-stop service including mortgage registration service and tax consulting. But existing housing buyer must find many professionals by themselves. Innovel found business opportunities in these difficulties. In Japan, real estate brokers like renovated house transactions because they can earn brokerage fee when they mediate old property to renovate property provider. And after renovation, they can again earn brokerage fee when they mediate renovated houses to end user. Next solution company is Address. Address is a subscription service company of housing. Member of Address can live in any registered house from $32 for 2 nights per month. Homeowners keep the registered home ready for leave by themselves. But the service is still at the stage of development. Average income is only $280 per month. The number of registered properties only 218 to 1,174 upright properties, only 18%. But the number of the members is increasing rapidly by 172.5%. The last solution company is Monoc. Monoc means store things. Monoc provides a platform mediating between homeowners and customers needing storage. Japanese small houses need storage, but storage fee is not so cheap. Monoc provides a service of 47 prefectures in Japan. Monoc charges about 30% of the rental fee as platform service fee. Average sales a year is about 720 US dollars, and the number of registered spaces is about 7,000. Then the total sales about $5 million. So the service is still at the stage of development. Next, let me explain about the valuation of old houses. In Japan, detached houses are usually valued by cost approach. In cost approach, property value is equal to the cost of land plus total cost of construction less depreciation. Although Japanese oldest temple Horyuji is 1,300 years old, detached house lifetime is only 30 years in valuation. This is because people prefer new houses to renovated houses because we had big changes of building standards regarding earthquake resistance in 1981. In the United States, over 50 years old houses with renovation are valued by sales comparison approach, using effective age like 10 years. Sales comparison approach is a valuation method that compares one property to similar ones recently sold in the area. Let me explain why old properties sometimes have no value. In rural areas, land value is much smaller than building value. Please look at the figure below. Left figure shows new house value. The land value is only $20,000 and the building value is $150,000. The total value is $170,000. 30 years later, the building value has no value. The land value remains $20,000. But in valuation, we must consider demolition cost in valuing two old properties. If the demolition cost surpasses 20,000 US dollars, the property value is zero. Next case, if we renovate the old property, the property value increases. But in renovating properties, we must understand the market. In Japan, many big developers entered housing renovation markets 20 years ago. But now, there are few developers doing the renovation business. Renovated property developer must be keen on end user budget. Big developers tend to pay too much on renovation, and the selling price surpasses end users' budget. Because developers have defect liability for at least 2 years. The last case, if we convert the old property into income-producing property, like storage, the property with no value will get value. In valuing the property, we must consider economic life of the property. The economic life usually is prolonged to 40 to 50 years because income property owners don't care old building style or nor old interior finishing. The income and expenses must be discounted by yield rate. Finally, we can have a value by income approach. Thank you for listening for patiently. My presentation is over. Do you have any questions?
Thank you very much. So if anyone have any question, you may kindly tell us. We have Mr. Boko Ray from the Philippines. We have
Yes, sir.
hello to everyone. Mr. Adure Katochino? Amon Ray, yes, engineering Amon Ray. So if you have any question, you can ask us. And I see here we have, yes, and any questions so far?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. No problem.
All right. Okay. Because my question in Japan's real estate market, how is the situation now in terms of sales after the pandemic? Is it increasing, or I know the topic is about vacant housing, but I want to know also about the current trend of real estate in Japan.
Current trend in what? In the pricing, value of properties or something after the pandemic? Is it right? The housing price after pandemic, is it increasing or not or something? Is that your question, sir?
Yes.
So, Mr. Kainuma, what is your opinion on the house price after the pandemic? The pandemic maybe in 2022 or 2021. So from 2021, 2022, and now end of 2023, you may say that during the past year, 2023, compared to 2022, what is the increase in house price in, say, in Tokyo? What is your opinion on the house price changes in Tokyo
Okay.
as a whole?
Housing price in Tokyo is almost level.
Housing price what? The same or
Same
increase?
level. No, same.
Same. Oh, in Japan,
Same
house
as
price
before.
not increase, no? Not increase. I see.
Yeah, not increase. Because no mortgage rate is rising, so the payment is higher and higher. So
maybe not many people buy and sell
payment
properties.
bigger.
See. Madam Carol Whitney, any sharing from New Zealand? Mr. Clayton Wade, our FIABCI Thai members, but is a U.S. residents, U.S. citizen. Any sharing?
Hang on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. Yes, it's been a terrible year, but it's just starting to get better. And we have a big auction in Auckland on Thursday. I'm up north at the moment, but it's going to be very exciting. My office I work with in Auckland, 50 years, one owner bought it for $8,000, did nothing to it at all. It needed doing up when he bought it, and it's been neglected, 120 years old. It will probably sell for $2 million.
I see. So do you have a problem of unoccupied housing units or vacant housing in New Zealand?
No, we don't, darling. We're very short of housing, and it's not very short of housing, and not enough housing.
I see. So sorry, we cannot carry houses from Japan to sell in
I know.
New Zealand.
I know.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to seeing, like, one old guy bought this house 19 or 50 years ago, did nothing to it, nothing to it, needed work on it then, and it's going to sell. So no problem with vacant housing here.
I see. I see.
And I
Thank
really
you,
miss you guys too. I hope
Yeah.
to be
Come
traveling
to
again
Thailand next year. We will have our
Hey.
FIABCI Thai Awards in Bangkok in August.
Yeah.
I will
Oh,
inform
yes,
you the
I
date.
hope to be there then. And I have
Yeah.
a client heading up there. I want to refer to you if that's okay.
Yeah, maybe.
He wants
Yeah,
to
you can
buy a
come.
property. Yeah.
Yes.
I miss you a lot.
Yeah, me too. You can come and
Yeah.
dance and sing a song.
Yes,
Something.
I will. I will. Yeah.
Okay. I saw the
Okay,
name
darling.
is.
Have a lovely evening. It just took me a while to get online, but
Yeah.
it's nearly 11 o'clock at night here.
Oh, I'll see. 11 o'clock at night. I see.
Mm.
So don't go.
That's why I've got
stay for
my
a while.
photo on
Stay
because
for a while. Yeah.
yes.
I see. I saw Mr. Wilkin Fruta. I don't know where do you come from. Any sharing or any comments, and also see some Japanese name, but I cannot understand. And some author, Mr. Clayton, and some authors are here. Any sharing? Okay. I will send you the. You give me the email. Bohol brokers. I will check and then I will send you the presentation to you later. So before
Thank
we
you.
go on, Mr. Anyone want to share anything? Yeah. Okay. Mr. Kainuma, maybe you go page by page again, please, for your presentation. Page number 2, page number 2, number 3. Yes, go on. Yeah, number 5, 4, 5. Okay. Next, please. Something about the valuation. Yeah, Japan population change. Yeah, you see that it is changing a lot. Yeah, this is your grandmother house. Yeah, and also, yeah, the next, please. Yeah. Okay. This is kindly explain to us again. So this means that the company called Cartitas and another company called Reprise, they can have a sale of unoccupied housing unit, 5,209 and 1,718. So altogether maybe around 7,000 units last year only. So in a year, you have so many housing unoccupied, 8.7 million housing units, but the selling of the unoccupied housing units are really, really little, very few. So what happened? So the rest still keep it unoccupied. Not many housing units transacted last year, right? Or this year,
Yes,
2023. Yeah, this figure.
Okay. I explained here, the existing housing transaction is only 14.5% of our market. Very few.
14.5% of what?
Housing market. New housing start. New housing start
is 14,000.
no. New housing start is 1 million.
Oh, you have one new 1 million units launched last year.
Yeah. A year. Yeah.
Oh, where is the figure? I cannot see the figures. 1 million housing units.
Yes.
Oh, that is a lot. You have new housing, 1 million
Yeah.
housing units.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Too
is a
many
lot.
new housing, but there is a few existing housing transactions.
Oh, I
Existing
see.
housing transactions are very few. People like a new housing.
Yeah, this is a norm for Japan maybe. So those houses may be a lot of rats, a lot of mosquito or something. Yeah, so not many people sell it, buy it. Okay, go. So do you have any figures about 1 million housing units built every year That is quite huge.
Yeah.
And how many housing units altogether now in Japan? How many housing units?
Maybe 50 or 60 million.
Oh, 50 or 60 million. I see.
I forgot.
Oh, I see. Then next, go to next page, please. Next page. Yeah, next, please. About the valuation. Next, please.
Valuation.
Yeah. Next, please. Okay. This one we understand. Wait. Okay. This one we understand. The land value the same because no change during the past 30 years, and the demolition cost is 20,000. So unoccupied housing unit or vacant housing is zero value, no value at all. I see. That is very amazing in the case of Japan. Next, please. Next. Yeah. So you said that if you have to renovate it, the cost of renovation may be 80,000. So what is the average price for a house, a new house in Japan? So in this case, the price for the renovation is altogether 100,000 US dollar. But what is the average price for the new 1 million housing units? What is the price?
Maybe in Tokyo area, 400 to 500.
Oh, I see. What about on the average nationwide? Nationwide,
maybe
200,000.
200,000. Yeah.
Oh, 200,000. So nationwide new house is 200,000, but the renovated house is 100,000. So it is half price. So it should be attractive. It should be attractive for home buyers to buy. So why don't they buy? The price is 50% only. And also mostly I believe that unoccupied housing units may be in a good locations. Like in Bangkok, unoccupied housing unit may be in the good locations in the city. In the city, no need to go up country, no need to go by train for a long time. So it should be in a good location. So I cannot see the reason why they don't buy it. What is your explanation, sir?
Sorry.
What is your explanation? The explanation, the thing is, the new housing units may cost $200,000, but if you renovate the old vacant housing units, it might be $100,000. So vacant housing unit is worth, say, if you after renovation, maybe half price compared to the new. But the mostly the unoccupied housing units may be in the hub of the cities, so it should be good, convenient for people to stay there. Why don't they buy it? Because it should be an advantage to buy a vacant housing unit after renovation. So why don't they buy? Why don't they buy?
Innovative housing?
Yes. Do they buy?
We fear the earthquake.
Earthquake. Oh,
yeah.
I see. So if you renovate it, it may not be strong enough.
Is only finishing or interior or something. Structure is old as is.
I see.
So people don't like old properties because of fearing earthquake.
I see. So another question I'd like to know, if on an average, the house price in Japan is $200,000, that is the price. Say how much the profit for developers? 10% or something? What is the profit for developer?
Maybe 10%.
I see. So very, very, very small amount. 10%. See. Okay, so next page, please. Next page. You said that the demolition cost after altogether is 10,000. You say something about rental income during economic life. You said about the economic life maybe say 50 years. So what is the rental income? I can you did not put the figure here. Rental income. You said
I don't know. I don't know. So just image.
estimate. Estimate.
Yeah,
I see. So the land value, the rental income plus the land value minus the demolition cost. So in this case, maybe the rental income during economic life maybe around $40,000. $40,000 plus 20,000, so it becomes 60, and minus 20,000. So sorry, it should be 60. Yeah, in a rental income during economic life maybe 60, and plus another 20 of land value, it becomes 80, and then we reduce the demolition cost of 20. So altogether the rental income is on net income is maybe around 60,000. I see, but it's still small in value. I see, it is still small in value. So this means that it is not so feasible. It is not so feasible to renovate or to rent all housing units. So what should we do about this? You have around 8.7 million unoccupied housing units. So in terms of policy, what should we do about this sporadic hither and thither, sporadic in different locations of unoccupied housing units? What should we do?
We must find the highest and best use. So in case of a rural area, we must consider the Airbnb or something for foreigner.
Maybe like a ryokan.
Yeah, ryokan.
Hostel.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, that may be a good idea. But
urban area, we have buyers. In urban area, we have.
In urban area, there are buyers, but in rural area, maybe not many.
No buyers. So
no buyers.
We must rent or use for hostels.
I see. And another question is, of the total 8.7 million unoccupied housing units or vacant housings, what is the proportion in the city, and what is the proportion in upcountry? What is the proportion, sir? Say 50% in the city or half or something?
Sorry, I don't know, but almost is rural area. We have only few percent of a vacancy in urban area.
Few.
So very few.
So most of the unoccupied housing units are in upcountry, I expect.
Yeah, in country.
Most, maybe 80 to 90% of them may be upcountry. People don't want to stay in upcountry anyway, so they just leave it. I see. So no problem, because no one wants it anyway. I see. Yeah. So actually, this is not really a problem, because if they are in the city, maybe no problem. I see. Okay. So anyone else? Mr. Lisa Haron, any comment? Mr. Mikos, Mr. Mintra, Miss Mint, Professor Nitirat, long time no see. Any comments or any questions, sir? Mr. Please. Yes. Mr. Clayton Wade, please go ahead.
I have two questions in the chat area.
Oh, you have question in the chat area, so let me read. What is the take-up rate at the moment for your new housing supply? Yes. What is the take-up rate, sir? Mr. Kainuma, what is the take-up rate for the, say, 1 year you produce 1 million new house? So what is the absorption rate for this 1 million?
Absorption rate is about 90%.
90%.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
And in a year, all the stock is gone.
I see. And another question is, when you say a house, a vacant housing units in Japan, say the price is around 80,000 US dollar. What is the size of the house? Normally, on the average, what is the size of the house? Say how much square feet or how much square meters in a house in Japan, vacant housing. What is the size?
Detached house has about 100 square meters to 120 square meters.
100 square meters
to 126 120 square meters.
Oh, so the average size is 120 average
120 or something, and the condominium has 70 square meters.
Condominium is 70. Oh, this big.
And 3 bedrooms.
Oh, I see.
Very small.
3 bedroom. I see. Say another question is, of the 8.7 million unoccupied housing units, what is the proportion between condominiums and low-rise residents? What is the proportion? Do you have any idea about this?
I'm not sure, but almost vacant houses are detached houses.
Most of them are detached house.
Yeah, because condominiums is not located at rural area.
Oh, I see. Maybe we may say that over maybe around 90% of them may be detached house, and most of them are in upcountry instead of in the city. I see. Because we can expect
rural,
that
93% detached.
All right.
I see.
Beautiful.
Yes. Any comment, Mr. Carol Whitney or someone else?
Pardon? Oh, hang on just a moment. Are you there? Hello?
Yes, please.
You can hear me. What
Yes.
did you say? What comment on the prices of vacant houses? Sorry.
So, Mr. Kainuma, tell us again the average price of the 8.7 million unoccupied housing. Average price is how much?
Average price of unoccupied housing. I don't know, darling. But we don't get it. There's a shortage of housing here. And, you know, it's not really unoccupied. Like I said, we've got this house that is in terrible condition, and it's going to probably sell for 2 million next week. I will let you know.
Maybe the land price there is high.
The land price
$40,000
here. Yeah, the land price. This is in Auckland, but yeah, it's amazing. The guy paid $8,000 for it. Did nothing to it. It was a mess when he bought it, and it will probably sell for 2 million.
But
I'll let you know
Japan,
on Thursday.
Yeah, in Japan for 20 years, 30 years already, house price is not increasing substantially.
No,
or maybe the
I
same.
don't understand. I do not understand. You know, nobody can afford to buy in Auckland anymore.
So,
You know,
Mr. Kainuma, can you explain? And first, can you tell us the average price of vacant housing in Japan? What is the price?
About 40,000 US dollars
40,
Oh my
40,
goodness.
with no renovation.
without renovation. I see.
Just vacant old properties are
Yeah.
valued.
This
What
is
so?
$2 million, no renovation.
Yeah, 30 to 40,000 US dollars.
I see. So, why land price in Japan not increase during the past 20, 30 years? What happened? Maybe you can kindly explain this to us.
I don't know why, but our economy is not growing so fast. Just level, same every year.
So you cannot speculate in buying a house in Japan. If you buy a house and you cannot speculate because you have no capital gain in land price. Is that right?
No. In Tokyo area, we have increasing value in housing. Condominium price getting higher and higher.
Oh, how
And,
much higher per year?
In recent years level, but we get increased by 50% in 20 years.
Oh, 50% by 20 years. Oh,
20
I
years.
see.
20 years.
I see. So this is condominiums. But what about
Yeah,
low-rise
condominium.
residence in Tokyo?
Yeah.
What
But,
about low-rise?
Low-rise detached
Yes,
house.
yeah, detached.
Detached house in Tokyo is increasing, but in rural area decreasing every year.
Oh, I see. So in Tokyo, detached house, how much increase during the past 20 years? You said in condominium is 50% during the past 20 years. But what about detached house in Tokyo during the past 20 years?
Not so. About 20 or 30%.
I see. I see. So we can say that
condominium is located in
good
center of
location.
Tokyo. Yeah, good location. So the good location housing is increasing.
I see.
In value.
So you said that condominiums in Tokyo maybe increase 50% during the past 20 years. For detached house or low rise, maybe around 20% during the past 20 years. But in rural area, housing detached house, they are decreasing in price every year. Down. So that is what we can expect. I see. So not many people want to stay in rural area.
Yes.
What about the elder person, say senior citizen? Senior citizen after retirement, say 60 years old, they may want to go to a country to live there peacefully. They don't think so. They don't want to stay in rural area.
Some people who like living country area, but most people like to live in condominiums.
Oh, I see.
Urban area, condominiums.
Oh, I see. Oh, maybe condominium may be more convenient, more secure, and they can go to the hospital easily, maybe.
Yes.
Any question for our colleagues here? We still have a few minutes to go. Anyone else would like to ask any question? Oh, I see. Let me see. Mr. Clayton Wade also say something about the how do we expect Japan aging population to affect the future of housing demographics, and with the growing housing oversupply, how do you think this will affect where people choose to live in the future? So the first question is, how do you expect Japan aging population to affect future? So someone said that your population is decreasing and there are so many old people, say senior citizens. So this mean that the housing demand will decrease or not? The housing demand, do you think is it decreasing or not? What is your comment, sir?
Housing demand?
Yeah. Is it?
It's in urban areas still increasing in urban areas,
Oh, I
but
see.
all in Japan decreasing.
Oh, I see. Or we can see that overall aging population may be down. However, yeah, all are down, but let's see. So, actually, the 1 million housing units built every year, maybe mostly in urban area, right?
Yes, true.
I see. Say, the proportion for building a house in urban area maybe 90% of the 1 million or something. Most of them in the in the urban area, right?
Yeah. Most of them urban. In rural area, innovative property is good for buyers because price is so low.
Uh-huh. Maybe some of them may want to stay peacefully.
Yeah.
From Mr. Pragna, he has a question. He has some comment that in Nepal, Mr. Pragyan Jimmy, yeah, sorry if I pronounce wrong. In Nepal, vacant housing is found in rural area, same in Japan, but in urban areas, no vacant housing. The vacant house data presented is of which area in Japan. So Mr. Kainuma said that most of the unoccupied housing units may be in rural area. So of these 8.7 million unoccupied housing units, 90% are in rural area. Is that right, sir?
Yes, maybe so.
I see. Yeah. So in the city, maybe not many unoccupied housing units. Mostly in rural area. I see. Yeah, this may be same as Nepal. I think in Nepal, as according to what I heard, they still have a lot of housing shortage, particularly in Kathmandu Valley. A lot of housing shortages because many migrants from upcountry to the metropolitan. That's why the metropolis. That's why there are still shortage of housing. Any other question so far? Any question or anything else you like to ask? If you have any question, still some opportunity to ask something. Is there any question so far?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
You know, I've read in the past and I've heard that Japan is offering really low prices and very special pricing on secondary housing. And I'm wondering how that went with the Japanese purchasers, and do they have any programs where they're inviting foreigners to live in Japan to take up some of this housing?
Sorry, sir. Again, please.
I've read in the past that the oversupply, that Japan has made special programs selling second-hand homes at very low prices to try to invite people to purchase them. Is that correct?
Oh, I see.
So if they extended that to foreigners, are foreigners invited to come and take up some of this property? Just curious.
I see. Is that right, Mr. Kainuma? Does the government of Japan try to promote unoccupied housing by give them low price? I heard something like in Detroit, because of a lot of unoccupied housing in Detroit, even prior to the COVID period. I went there in 2018. They sell a house $1 or something, some promotion or something. Is that happen in Japan, sir?
No. No,
I
but
see.
some rural area government provides money
Huh,
to residents, new residents, to provide
I see.
support, but very few, very few.
I see. Not central government, just only the local government. Some local
Yeah,
government
just
may try
some
to promote.
local government.
I see. I see. Okay. Okay. So thank you. Indeed. Uh, um, Maybe we have to end this session. But before we go, I like to inform you that on December 19, Thursday, December 19, there will be another great presentation from Madam Mrs. Lisa Hobart. He is a CAE from the International Association of Assessing Officers, and she is also a member of the American Society of Appraisers. She will say something about how to assess and tax personal properties. You may know that in the US we have tax for immovable properties, real estate, and we also have tax for personal properties. If you have a yacht, if you have a cars or some other properties, they also have to pay annual tax on this. So this will be on Thursday, December 19. So you should jot down Tuesday, December 19 at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Michigan time. She's in Michigan, USA, or maybe 7 p.m. Bangkok time. That will be 9 p.m. in 9 p.m. in Tokyo, and that may be say around 1 o'clock in New Zealand, in Auckland, for Madam Whitney. So you may have to set an alarm clock and wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning to listen to this session that will be very much interesting about how to assess or how to value and tax personal properties in the US. So she's a really great appraisers and assessors, and she is also teaching a lot about how to appraise properties, and also something about computer assisted mass appraisal. However, this session on December 19, Tuesday, we will discuss about how to assess and tax personal properties. So kindly put in your calendar before Christmas, December 19. Okay, so I think we should end our session right now. For those who put your email here, I don't know, after we close this session, our meeting chat will be still appear or not. I suggest you to kindly give us your email to our host, that is FIABCI, or maybe to me, myself, Sopon at area.co.th, or Sopon at thaiappraisal.org, Sopon at area, that is area.co.th. You may send to me or send to the link, so that we make sure that we will send you the this PowerPoint of Mr. Kainuma, and also the YouTube of this presentation of Mr. Kainuma to you. After we clean it up, we will send to you shortly, maybe within a week or something. So we hope you enjoy this presentation of Mr. Takahiro Kainuma from Tokyu Construction from Japan. So any last word to say, Mr. Kainuma? Would you like to say anything before we end this session, sir?
No, that only thank you everyone for recently listening to my presentation for a long time. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you very much for your kind presentation and your paper, your preparation. We are indebted to you, and we hope in the future our FIABCI, International Real Estate Federation, can invite you to join us again. And for us who are here, if you would like to be our member of FIABCI, you can contact our FIABCI chapters in different countries where you were, or maybe you can contact the FIABCI headquarters in Paris. If in the case of Thailand, you can contact me because I'm the president of FIABCI Thailand, and also the president of the FIABCI World Council of Experts who organize this event. So bye for now. Thank you very much, Mr. Kainuma and all our participants here. See you later, December 19. Bye bye. Take care. Good day to you.